Did y'all know that Moses' mother is also his great aunt? That's right. Moses' mama is his auntie mom. A young lady had questioned me about that on a video that I posted the other day. How is that possible? Well, when you look at this birth chart, then this family tree, then one of the things that you should notice is that Levi, he had a daughter. That daughter's name was Jochebed. Levi also had some sons. One of the children from that son, Amram. Amram and Jochebed got together in the most holiest of matrimonies. They had Miriam, then Aaron, and yes, they had Moses. Many people like to focus on the fact that Moses' mother sailed him down on a boat, down the river Nile, and then he was picked up by the Pharaoh's daughter. Don't tell us who the Pharaoh is, because you don't want to pinpoint information, because then we'll be able to easily disprove that this is a made-up story. But it's a made-up story based on another made-up story. It's the made-up story of Emperor Sargon, and how Sargon's mother, trying to save him, put him in a boat, a basket, sailed him down the river Euphrates, was picked up by the king's baker, raised up to be the king's cupbearer, and then later on established the first empire ever known to man, the Akkadian Empire. They call him Sargon the Great. That story was told in and around 6000 BCE. The Moses story, it doesn't happen until around 1500 BCE. So therefore, the Akkadian story of Sargon is much older. This is how they borrowed from one another. But it's interesting that the writers of the Bible will allow for all the incest to still be in the Bible, since when you get into Leviticus, the law, it forbids incest. It forbids marrying your father's sister, marrying your father's daughter, and all these other kind of forbiddance of incest. But yet, the Bible consistently and constantly promotes people who are in incestuous relationships. Whether it's Lot and his two daughters having sex and creating the Amorites and the Moabites, who we just talked about on the live on Tuesday, about how the Israelites were told, don't mess with the Moabites and don't mess with the Ammonites. Leave them alone, because those are your cousins. I bless them because they are from the lineage of Lot. They don't like to talk about, you would think they wouldn't talk about, the fact that Abraham was married to his sister, technically his half-sister, but he was married to his sister. They had the same father, I believe. And even though he lied by omission to Pharaoh and another king about her just being his sister and not his wife, and then later those kings and their kingdoms were punished because they took Abraham's wife without them even knowing, even though Abraham is the one who set up the lie, and then they had to pay him and pay her off, and that's how Abraham got rich. You would think they would have omitted the fact that Jacob's mother sent him to go to her uncle Laban so that he can then marry his cousin Rachel. But he also married his cousin Leah, and then they forced him to marry two slaves, their handmaids. So he had two slave wives as well. The Bible is filled with incest, and you have to look at it from this. This is how I look at it. If I am God, I do not need to allow for man to go through a period of time before I teach him that incest is wrong. I would just teach him that incest is wrong from day one. I mean, hell, you started with Cain and Abel, and who the hell could they have married according to this Bible but their sisters? You could have made more than just two people. If you had made more than two people, then logically, you wouldn't have to have incest. This God is a bad planner. So y'all have a great day. Remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.